What's up, everybody? It is Ted back here again with Bodies and Wicks, and of course, right after 1 hour, I would get cut off. You know, that's just the way YouTube is. Exactly 1 hour to the T. They didn't want me hosting anything more than 1 hour. I've actually done more than 1 hour before, and the reason I've even done 1 hour before is because there's been probably a lot of engagement in the chat, a lot of people either sharing my video or talking about my video. Anything that gets a little bit over 50 views for some reason ends up getting it a little bit over that whole that 1 hour thing. But if I'm just up there talking and there's really not a whole lot of people watching or listening, again, these things go into an archive, which, you know, I would rather me sit here and do this live than sit here and do a video and then have to go back and edit it and do this and do that. I'd just rather go off the cusp, tell you what I'm thinking, tell you what's going on, and then not have to worry about editing it and reworking it and figuring out what's going on with that video. So again, that's my personal preference, and most of the time, what YouTube likes to do is tell me that there's not enough streaming footage to get through. So then they just kind of have my voice out there, but they don't have my video out there. So, hey, at least today they had my video out there and they had my voice out there. They just cut me off at an hour. Anyways, what I was getting through, and I kind of took a sit there and a long took at I forget which one it even was now because I was taking so long to even look at it. Let's just go ahead and head on over to the charts, because I know what we're looking at. Again, if you like crypto, if you like money, if you like smart money, which is being ahead of the guys that are in control of the money supply and knowing how to trade against them, what I'd like to you do is hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That's what I do, is I follow smart money. I know exactly what they're doing. I don't know who they are, but I have been studying these patterns long enough that nothing is based on geometry, nothing is based on supply and demand, nothing is based on triangles or butterflies or anything like that. Everything is based on a price level, if you will, if that makes any sense. So the price level is if the people have enough money to buy a lot more of it, they're going to. If they think it's too high, they're not going to buy it, and then they kind of manipulate it up and down until they can get more for their friends. They create fear out of you, so that way you sell it at a low point, that way they can buy it from you at a low point. And it's just it's a very psychological game is what this is, and that's what's been happening. And I've been fully aware of it for quite some time, and I try to bring it to as many people as possible who may not understand that this is what is going on and that this is what's happening. So let's head on over to the charts. Again, gas, I think, was the last thing I went over. Gas was, again, another huge jump. Like I said, if you ever see something like this and you don't expect it to come back down, you have got to be mistaking yourself, because these are the things that happen. Something is going to have a huge jump in a day, 24-hour period, 12-hour period, 5-minute period, and you don't think it's going to come back the opposite way. You've got to kind of reevaluate what you're trading and how you're trading it, because if you think of something like that, it's going to take off and it's going to go to the moon and never come back down, you've really got to start studying a little bit more to understand how price action works, because price action doesn't work like that. Price looks to do two things, right? Price looks to A, balance, right? B, find liquidity, right? If it's finding balance and liquidity in both of those actions, then it's on a rampage, right? If the liquidity is above it and it's not balanced yet, it's going to find the liquidity until it balances. And once it balances out, it'll probably find liquidity there and then continue on. But and I would probably have to draw illustrations to know exactly what I'm talking about, but hopefully I can find some in upcoming examples, especially when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum. I will definitely be able to find some of those examples in those markets for sure. Following up on my last 10 there, I'm going to go through Hedgic here. Hedgic, I am probably taking off of this top 20. Maybe not. I said this last 2 weeks. Hedgic I thought was going to do really good, and it just I was a fan of Whiteheart. The reason I was a fan of Whiteheart is because people could buy something that had very high value to hedge against their bets, right? So if you could find something like Hedgic, or if you can find something like Whiteheart that was created by Hedgic, then maybe Hedgic had some kind of edge because they had their own hedging tool. But Hedgic itself is not doing so great, and hasn't been doing so great for quite some time. So I'm gonna give Hedgic a D+ on this week. Not gonna give it a complete F just because it hasn't fallen below complete low high, complete low lows, but at least it's not doing what I thought it would. Next on the runner-up list is Frontier. Frontier sadly disappointed me this week. I thought it was, well, it's my fault, to be honest, to be jumping into this so quickly for it to be just such a coin. It came in very strong, and that's what I liked about it. I was actually in I didn't even, I don't even think I got to Ravencoin. I think I skipped over Ravencoin completely. Ravencoin was my coin, the coin that I was all about, and I'm still all about. And I jumped in around 60 or around 6 cents or so, and made quite a bit of profit, and then took half that profit and then threw it into Frontier, and then kept the rest in Ravencoin. And then as you can see, ever since then, Ravencoin, well, right around here is when I took some profits and then threw those profits into Frontier. And then so ever since then, I've been kind of half and half on Ravencoin, but I'm still very bullish on Ravencoin. And one of the reasons I'm very bullish on Ravencoin is, if you remember me talking about this last week, Ravencoin did something to the effect that Bitcoin and Ethereum did, which was find that one area in the market, right, where it had a small body, but it had a wick that extended the body of the next candle, right? And then whenever it came back to that area, right, it found that support, and then boom, shot up automatically. And I was thinking, if it came back into that area again, I would eventually get back into it, and I did. I got back in probably somewhere around 15 cents. Got up a little bit, and now it is starting to fall a little bit, but again, still very bullish on Ravencoin. Ravencoin has a very good sound fundamental coin system, in the basically trading asset to asset class. So especially for equities. So let's say it's the way to get around Wall Street bets, basically. To say, hey, I think GameStop's worth $400 a share. You think it's worth 300. you paid, you made 500 for it. You're going to take a loss. What I will do is I will take it off your hands for 500 because I'm already at a gain, and if I take this, I'm going to add to it. And so, there's going to be this is going to cause kind of like a black market of the equities industry. Is what I see Ravencoin doing, and I think it's phenomenal. That way you're not subjugated to just the broker. You can transfer your own securities to each other at the price that they want to pay, at the price somebody else is willing to receive them. So I think Ravencoin is going to be a phenomenal thing in the end. And it's just going to take a while to get there. I forgot what they were voted in 2019 as the most reliable to fix the internet or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think if somebody wants to cross trade, if they got gold and maybe somebody has gold and they want to sell it to somebody for AT&T, whatever it is, they don't have to have a broker step in the way. They can trade it to each other for the value that they want it to be. That's what Ravencoin is all about, and that's why I'm very, very bullish on Ravencoin, and I think I always will be. To me, it's a phenomenal coin. Now, IOSD, again, still holding strong. Especially from 2 weekends ago. Last weekend, of course, everything has been falling, but I think we're just in that natural pullback phase. Again, right now is an area to where we should be looking to buy limits. That is a good question. I know I had the question for that. I hope he followed me and watching very, very soon. If not, going to be in this video. When it comes to buy limits, what you have to look for is, again, you have a gap in the market here. And what I mean by gap in the market is when you have a huge green candle like this, especially in a 4-hour sense. Right, maybe if we break it down to the 1 hour, we might be able to see a little bit of a pullback in that 4 hour. And you actually, no, you really don't. It's just 4 hours straight up. Once it gets to the 4th hour, you kind of have a lingering and then another boom rocket launch after that. So those kind of things, I wouldn't say scare me, but make me wonder if they're going to come back down to that area. If it's a steady, healthy growth, hey, I'm all for it. But whenever you see something like a huge takeoff, a pause, and then a huge takeoff again, when it pulls back down into here, hey, that's good, right? And then you can see it start growing again. But if it leaves this kind of thing right here open for vulnerability, that's when I start wondering what's going on. And as you can see, it has dipped down into those areas. So I think it might be a pretty good time to start investing in IOSD. If it would be personally, I would definitely be throwing something at IOSD just because of the vulnerability into where it is at currently. Last one, of course, Polkadot. I just got to throw a shout out here to Polkadot. It has been up. Of course, smart contracts with Cardano, trying to fight the big man Ethereum with their gas fees. Again, another one that's been going sideways. But then again, this whole sideways motion that we're seeing right here at the end, right? A lot of people are looking at this and going, oh my God, the crypto market is going under. It's going sideways. It's been going sideways for a few weeks. And that's not the case at all. If we go to the stock market, for example, I will throw up the stocks that I own and give you an example of what is going on here. So one is Can, and Can is the oh, if it would actually spell that correctly, Can is the basically the producers of all the hardware for Bitcoin mining. So as you can see, fairly new company, recent all-time high. I bought back when it was at $4 and something cents. I had a hunch from somebody that told me, hey, you're gonna be stupid if you don't buy now. I did. I'm letting it ride. I could have sold at $25 a share. I didn't. I'm still holding. It's at $15 a share. I don't think it's gonna fall back down. Again, we're gonna see kind of a slow growth month period, maybe in the next couple of weeks. But then once March kicks back up into April, I think we're going to see these kind of things start moving up again as well. So it's not just the crypto market that's seeing it, it is the stock market that's seeing it in Can. And let's see here, what is the other one? Riot, Riot blockchain. Another one that I am personally invested in, and it is about around $50 a share right now, actually 43. I set a buy limit today at like $39.90, trying to get a couple shares at a pretty cheap price. Didn't get there, but then again, as you can see, got really high, and it's on the pullback again. Same thing with the whole crypto market. Everything got really high, and all of a sudden there's a pullback. And then another one, Marathon Patent Group. If I can get it to pull up right. Maybe not. It doesn't want to do the A for some reason. Marathon Patent Group. Same thing. I bought this at around $20-25 a share, and it has absolutely exploded since then. It got all the way up to almost 50, fell back down, and now it's somewhere around 30. Still, I am up on Marathon Patent Group, or sorry, Marathon Patent Group, not Marathon Patent Group, but still, this group has been around for quite some time. And has shared as high as upwards of, I want to say, thousands of dollars, if I'm not mistaken. Not exactly 1,000, 150, somewhere around there. Maybe it was Riot blockchain that was, upwards of $1,000, but still, the way blockchain is going, the way the institutionalized money is happening, is being pouring into Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other projects. It's just not going to stop happening. It's not going to be like the bull run of 2017, where it was like, oh, there it is, now it's over. Now we're seeing more institutional interest, meaning that there's going to be a lot of bigger guys in play, and I think that's the reasoning why we're seeing the whole Bitcoin Ethereum fiasco right now, of it being so low. Not really so low, but everybody's going, why isn't this at 60,000 yet? Why isn't this at 70,000 yet? Well, it's because there's people in Wall Street that need to get in at a good price, right? These people are not going to get in at a good price at $50,000 per share or per Bitcoin. So it's being artificial. I mean, especially with China, the F2 pool, manipulating the price, selling off as much as possible, doing that specifically so American companies are American companies, but they're somebody there to buy the stock up, or this cryptocurrency up at a fairly cheap rate, while also trying to scare you into trying to sell it. So, you know, if you had yours when you were up to about $60,000, you're going, oh my god, this thing's going to the moon. And then all of a sudden, and I was warning about this, I said 54. And then after that I was taking profit, and then after profit I was going to be waiting for it to fall back again into a safer spot until I could get back in. And then I got back in at 46.5. I probably should have waited. I probably should have about half, about 46.5, and then waited on the other half to see what kind of reaction we're going to get. But the reason I personally took 46.5 to get back in on Bitcoin, one, it was cheaper than 55.4, which is where I got out at. Two, another reason why I got in at 45 or 46.5 has to do with I just keep following me around and not letting me. There we go. Okay, would you please stop? Here, how about this? Reset chart. Maybe you'll leave me alone if I just reset it. Okay, no. Object tree. Maybe that'll work. Alright, how about we just do this and just reset the whole freaking chart? Maybe that'll work. No? Okay, I have no idea what's going on with Bitcoin right now and why it's not do anything to it. It's not even wanting to close it. That is quite a miracle. Alright, how about we go to a different one? Or it's not letting me do anything. How lovely of you. I can't even click on a different tab. I can't even close a tab. Leave, yes. Okay, okay. There we go. How about we just get rid of BitTorrent? And let's go again. Let's try this one more time. Whenever I do BTC USD, I always do Coinbase just because it's the norm. It's what everybody's looking at. And whenever I was doing this and doing kind of analysis on it, I noticed that, especially between this and Ethereum, biggest difference between, well, it was at one point, it didn't happen since then, that was this morning, was that the fact that Ethereum had the low, and then whenever it came back up, it actually hit a higher high and then decided to move on up from there. What happened with Bitcoin is the exact opposite happened. It hit a low, and then it hit a lower low, and then decided to slide on down. Whereas to where Ethereum, it looks like it found liquidity in this area and decided to drive right down into the area to where people thought it would be a good safe space to buy. But instead, it just drilled right through there and probably took out all those traders that thought trading on a trend line was a smart idea. Rule number one, never trade on a trend line. Is never a good idea. I don't care how many people tell you that you're gonna find solace in trading on a trend line, because it just so happens to magically be a line from point A to point B, and it's going to make these possible trades happen, and it's going to make unicorns fly and dogs say words and birds talk to monkeys, and it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Instead, what you have to look at, you have to look at the overall conditions. You have to look at, you know, price market. You have to look at what is happening on the left side of the chart. If there is something you can see, you know, Ethereum slowly climbing, this I am happy with. You know, especially right around the $13,000 mark, which is quite a long time ago. Not gonna lie, it feels like such a long time ago. January and through February, and then the whole month of February was just a crazy phenomenon. Well, we don't know where it's gonna go, and now we don't know what to do about it. And of course, you know, it dropped intensely. And I was prepared for it, and I was prepared for it to probably. I didn't think 1,200 would be the answer. I thought somewhere around 1,300 would, and the reason I thought that was because there did see this gap in price, in skyrocket up. You gotta look for those gaps. Whenever it skyrockets up, you gotta look for those gaps. And found those, and definitely came back into those areas, and now it's coming back up. Not necessarily for certain if it is going to try to rally back up out of here. There is, again, we're in a liquidity zone, so people are stuck right now. People are stuck that wanted to go long, right? That did go long, and now they don't know how much more of a short they can take. So they're getting kind of short squeezed. Now, whenever this happens in, let's say, equities market, like NASDAQ, Dow Jones, S&P, whenever you see something like, you know, Ethereum having a low and then making a higher low, and then you see something like Bitcoin making a low and then a lower low instead of a higher low, that's considered a risk on investment, which means that the dollar is the risk. So your best bet is to place money that isn't a dollar. Which actually happened to be almost the exact opposite of the day the dollar actually went up. I am not mistaken. Pull up dollar chart here really quick. Dollar, even on the 1 hour, toward the end of the day, just completely flew up. So that kind of blew my hypothesis about what would happen with Bitcoin and Ethereum possibly both getting a little bit of a leg higher. Did not happen. Instead, now they both have went lower. Thing is that, again, there was gap in discount, so it looks like Ethereum did fill that gap. Now let's see if it's going to go on a bull run from here. Not necessarily like a huge bull run like we saw, and it's going to get 16,000. You know, it's going to double what it was to get up on almost to 3,000. But crazier things have happened. I think the gas fees are definitely eating Ethereum alive, and that's why Cardano is holding strong. That's why Polkadot is still doing pretty good. I think I think Ethereum needs to come out with Ethereum 2.0 as soon as possible, or else they may not be, holding number 2 in this market for very much longer. Now with Bitcoin, again, the thing that scared me was Tesla Day, right? Tesla Day was right here. Whenever we got the news, it shot up out of a crazy amount, and whenever it shot up a crazy amount, I always look at that and I go, oh no, it's not going to come back and fill in any of those voids or gaps, which I've learned is not necessarily a bad thing, just as long as it actually does kind of make a pullback into some kind of fair value that had previously happened, where the 5-minute, 15-minute, hour fair value gap. The bigger the gap, the better. But it did barely get in there. And so now I'm just waiting to see on if is the biggest word. If this is going to be pulling down into this blue area that I have marked out here, or green area, I should say. That green area will represent kind of the gaping hole that was left by price. Price not balancing. It just kind of took off and didn't really have a chance to balance it. Even though it did kind of balance itself from both angles, there's still a big gap in there that I would be. Some people are saying it get as low as 36. I don't think so. I think that gap is okay, even though I was afraid of that first. I think what is going to happen with Ethereum here, unless they get 2.0 again up and running again soon, they can cut down the gas fees, may overtake the market again. But until ADA and Cardano, ADA and Polkadot kind of create their own ecosystems, and who knows, all three of them could live in harmony. They could have their own use applications, so it's not like one is trying to outbeat the other. Each is trying to solve a certain problem, and I think there are different problems of expertise within these organizations, such as Ethereum or Polkadot or Cardano, where really don't what to do about it. So what I am looking for right now in Bitcoin is one thing I did want to take a look at the gold market. Especially if you're trading CFDs like I do. I want to see the whole shebang about what is going on. And it does this thing where it gets really too high and then it drops off, and it seems like it's doing that again. Now, where is it up? No, numbers crunch it up like it usually does. We get rid these indicators. Sometimes these indicators have a hindrance. And 4 hour here. Back in July, August. It'll just slowly climbed its way down. It's not like it's been like a dramatic. Still some value in gold in there. Now, whether you own gold on a piece of paper from the Ameritrade or whatever kind of stockbroker you use, not really guarantee that you're going to get that gold. If you were to go to the bank and ask for that gold, you probably wouldn't get it. So, and again, gold is valuable. It makes everything cheaper. The conductor, it's interesting the policies of wide range skills that has. So I'm looking at this, and that just looks like it could be trying to get a little bit lower. Probably not much lower because it does look like it did hit an order block, right? Order block being probably both of these combined. One of those ones where we just kind of have to wait and see. Did it? It just ran right through it, actually. Too late on seeing that. Just run right through it. Last chance of hope here would be this guy down here. $16.90. That low. But still, that's pretty low for gold compared to what it has been. So, and again, I think for all institutional moves to try to keep price low, scare people into trying to sell. That way, their rich friends can come in and buy it at the dirt cheap prices. Knowing it is that, and I think this Janet Yellen had some people scared with her economic talk, talking about Bitcoin was bad, but it's lifted millions of people in poverty. Janet Yellen, big pawn in the game, and she doesn't really recognize. Anyways, that is it for all that I have for today. Again, my Gate.io is referral link in the description. If you're trying to trade any kind of cryptocurrency. I think I just looked at Crypto Market Watch not too long ago, and we're at over about 1,100 coins, I want to say, which is so hard to keep track of. So I wouldn't worry about those kind of things. Or what I would be. And again, like I said, talking about Gate.io is exchange that I use as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned. It's kind of like Kraken, except for on crack. Reason being is because I think Kraken also has the same rewards program, 40% off, or 40% construction between two people. And the thing that is that the way they have it set up is that you can set your own commission, to where if I wanted to get 30%, I could, only 10% of your commission. I like to set it up equal, so that we at least you would get 20% of commission. I would get 20% of commission. No questions asked. I'm not going to try to sit here and steal your money. I just want to make sure people understand that Gate.io exists, and they're a really good thing. We have a lot of coins to choose from. Who never knows? Who never knows when you might want to get a Gate.io account, or if anything, your Bitcoin address, send it to Gate.io right through there. You don't have to direct deposit or put it in my account in. don't know, guys. I really don't know. I'll see. But what I did want to show you before I get kicked off really quick was this interesting pattern I found in Bitcoin with a 4-hour. Now, when this first came down, everybody thought I was the end of the world. It came down, hit this interesting candle, right? Candle that popped back above, but popped below the red candle that was preceding the red, the green one. Almost as if like no candle existed, as if the green one was the order blocker. Some I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But anyways, I was looking at that from Ethereum, or sorry, Bitcoin. And now from that point of view. I also want to take a look at the Ethereum chart. Through all the way down here, liquid this same area again, same order block. we shall see. And we shall see you in the morning. And wear your pants.